Good evening, everyone. So, I'm back after you can say many days, and today I thought to bring you one more new topic that we can discuss about. And this is all about how we behave in any social situations. How this is going to help you as a manager. This is going to help you as a manager once you are doing reviewing, once you are giving feedback to your team, once you are having conversations with your team. Now, many of you have asked me that how to behave with the senior people, how to behave with the juniors, something like that. So, this particular model, which I am going to talk about today, is just going to help you out on those situations. This model is called SCARF model. SCARF, SCARF model. What is SCARF model? Let us learn about it. So SCARF model is basically developed by David Rock in 2008. This is a kind of, you can say, a neuroscience of quality conversations. So before going to the SCARF model, let me talk about that how a human brain works whenever we are into some kind of situations, maybe a business situations, maybe in review meetings, maybe in any kind of social situations. Human brain works in a very primitive way. So either we try to fight or we try to flight. So what we are doing, actually we are behaving in the same way. So any human beings, be it you, be it me, or be it anybody, behaves in the same way in any situation. Either we want to fight or we want to flight. That is the basic human need. So what we have to do as a manager whenever we are doing conversation with our juniors during review meetings, majorly because in case of review meeting, it's kind of word review. Whenever you talk about it, people tends to get into shell. They don't want to come out. They don't want to reveal. They don't want to give original feedback. Always they try to defend themselves. So for that reason, it's a kind of threat situations whenever they are into review meeting. So now as a manager, if we want to get the actual facts out of a review meeting, if we want to make the review meetings productive, maybe we need to use this SCARF model while we are communicating with our team, so that the real facts comes out, the review meeting gets productive instead of shouting at each other. So let us talk about this SCARF model. In the SCARF model, actually what you have to do as a manager, you have to always think about that how you can reduce threat and how you can improve or increase the reward sensitivity among a team member. So what is your responsibility? You have to reduce threat and you have to increase the reward quotient of it. So let us talk about SCARF right now. The first alphabet S stands for status. Status means related importance to others. So as we know, we all are a social animal. So in the team meeting also, in the review meeting also, when some people are sitting over there, they always compare that how you are talking with them, not in terms of what kind of words you are using to them, but also how or what those words means to others. So suppose somebody you told that you are a good performer, so it creates a status symbol in that particular person in the meeting. How it creates, he always compares that how much I am good than that of others sitting in this particular room. So as a manager during review meeting, we also needs to also think about that what is the status of each and individual sitting in this particular room. So how we can reduce threat in this particular status quotient. Always, you have to think about that how you give feedback to this particular member or to a group of member. Managing the feeling of being left out. So whenever we are giving feedback, we need to see that whether how the person is behaving, what is the body language of the particular person, how he is perceiving that particular message that we are giving to them. Then also how you can increase reward. You have to recognize the performer, you have to create a pride in the team, you have to create the opportunities to learn. So this is how in the status quotient of SCARF model you can increase the reward and you can decrease the threat quotient in the review meeting process. Now coming to the next particular alphabet, that is C. C stands for Certainty is what? Certainty is nothing but ability to predict future. So we all want to be in a particular position where we want a control out of future. In the business, in the particularly sales, the way we deal with this is a very important question, because there are a lot of uncertainties in the market. So we always try to be certain in our behavior, in each and everything that we do. So in this particular factor, how as a manager you can help your team to increase reward and decrease the threat quotient. So how you can reduce the threat? By involving your team into the business planning. So it does not, please do not say that this target has been given to us, but please involve your team in target making. If target making is not in your hand, at least try to find the logical answer that why this particular target has been given to you, and please try to involve your team in that logical discussion that why this target has been given to you. Bite-sized communication, sometimes we feel that whatever we are telling to the particular team, these all people are understanding that. Might be not. Few people might not understand at a stretch sentence that what you are talking about. So please break down your message. Whatever message you want to give for the future or at present, please break it down. Bite-sized communication might work for a few people instead of long sentences or long communication. Then there is nothing called over communication. So suppose you want to develop a particular team member or a team, please over communicate. So once I meet over communicate, it does not mean nagging. It does not mean that one thing you are telling each and every time with the same word and language. Try to use different modes of communication. Try to use storytelling, try to use emails with different frame of words, try to use WhatsApp communication, try to use your voice recording to communicate the message in different manner altogether, so that you can ensure that your communication or message has been reached to the particular team and perceived into the same way, the way you wanted to perceive the message. How we can increase the reward in certainty quotient? I can say you can obviously promise. You have to promise what you can deliver actually. So this is one of the most important factor in certainty. So sometimes I see the managers are actually committing many things to the team member without knowing that whether they can deliver the same thing or not. As a manager, you have to understand delivery is not the only responsibility of your subordinates. It is only also responsibility of yours also. And once I talk about delivery, it does not mean the sales achievement. It talks about how you are helping them in their career development, how you are helping them in their learning curve, what kind of new opportunities you are creating for them. So all you need to think about. And one last thing in certainty, that how we can increase the reward system, is that you have to tell. You have to communicate very well. And as I told you, communication does not mean that one thing multiple times, but one particular key message in multiple ways, how you are communicating to the team. So this is all about certainty. Next alphabet into the SCARP model is A. A means autonomy. Autonomy means your sense of control over the events that you have. So everybody wants to function as an autonomous body, but please do not confuse autonomy with indiscipline. Sometimes we feel that autonomy means uh, mm, to allow us to do each and everything which we wish to actually. As a manager, it is very important that you work in autonomous mode, and also you allow your team members to work in autonomous mode. But please do not forget, autonomy does not come in indisciplined way. Autonomy is a sense of discipline. Autonomy is a sense of what organization goals and objectives are there, and what are the processes we are following actually to achieve those objectives. And in this particular whole process, discipline is very much required. To have a sense of that whether you are allowing your team to become autonomous or not, but in the same time you have to monitor that whether they are disciplined in those factors which has been laid down as a process or not. So in case of autonomy, how you can reduce threat? So please do not micromanage. There are many managers I have seen who actually tells their team what to do, what not to do each and every second. Please do not do that. Please allow your team to take their decisions, and you observe that whether they are in discipline or not, following those key objectives, and how they are behaving on those pointers. Please correct those. Plus, please do not try to micromanage, because it is the most non-productive things that can happen to you and your team. Please ask question. So once I talk about that, how you can reduce threat in autonomy quotient, please ask various questions. Do not tell the answer. Ask question which will actually lead to the answer. So that is the actual job of a manager. If you want your team to become autonomous, in autonomous mode, so that they become more productive. And also you can involve your team in decision making, so that they can feel empowered that yes, this particular decision has been taken in consideration of our thoughts also. So this is the way you can reduce the threat in autonomy quotient. How you can increase the reward quotient, that is you can tell them that what are the action plans and projects, you can involve them in target setting, as I told, that you can involve them. And also you can impose some kind of self-directing learning projects, so that they can learn and they come out to you with the kind of what is the gist of their learning, and how they want to increase, how they want to implement it in your particular projects. So this is how you can increase the reward quotient in autonomy factor. The next alphabet in SCARF model is that is you can say R. Yes. So it means relatedness. So related means what? It means that what is a sense of safety with others. So we human being actually wants to live in a community. So consider your team also in a community. So whatever the members are there in your team, whether they can relate themselves with the team or not, whether they feel the safety of being in the team or not. So as a manager, you have to have some kind of great sense of lookout in this particular matter. So how you can increase reduce the threat in this particular relatedness? The onboarding process. Whenever somebody new person is joining you, please make them comfortable. So making them comfortable does not mean that you don't allow them to work. Actually, instead of 10 calls they need to do 5 calls. It does not mean that making them comfortable. Making them comfortable means how much help you are extending in those early days, starting from knowing the company cultures, your induction process, how you are familiarizing the particular person with the KOLs and KBLs in the particular area, how you are making him or her understand regarding to the particular distribution network, the particular area, what are the helps that you are providing while the particular person is onboarding in your team. Also, how you can reduce the threat, you can always manage the team dynamics. So I always say that it has to be some kind of inclusion and diversity and inclusion rather in your team. So your team consists of only male colleagues, or also you have female colleagues. Your team should consist of mix of experience. You can say freshers, experienced people, mid-experienced people. Your team should have various background people like MBAs, B.Pharms, BScs, BCom. Your team should have, if possible, should have multiple culture background people. So this creates a team dynamics, and if your team is having these dynamics, you have to see that how you are managing these dynamics. Please remember, each and every person is different in your team. Do not try to consider individual as a team, because team consists of a group of people, individual people together. So in this relatedness case, how we can increase reward? You can always sell the purpose that your team. So somebody may ask that, see, the purpose is a big thing, it's a company or organizational thing, but I always say each and everybody in our own life is having some kind of purpose. So once you are having a team, you need to sell out what is the purpose of your team. If you can able to do that, I bet the sense of relatedness of individuals in your team will go high, and the productivity will be always higher than you expect. Then you can also extend the buddy or mentoring program. So what is the buddy or mentoring program is that you can assign some kind of some senior people, maybe from your team or maybe from outside, who can mentor in those initial days, or maybe to help them in their career development wherever they are weak, if you feel. So you can also do that. So this would actually create the importance, this will actually increase the sense of relatedness among your team member. Now let us come to the last point of SCARF. It is F, that is fairness. So fairness is a very important factor, because sometimes we tend to get bias with some people. Somebody might be a good performer in my team, which I consider. So whatever the reward mechanism that I have developed, my intention would be always that this person should get rewarded. Maybe I am neglecting other four people in my team. They have also done some good work, but I am not able to recognize that, because I feel the number is the only factor. So whichever has been delivered number, the reward should go to him. This is something called the biasness. I'm not telling not to reward the performer. It has to be as always. But what about those people who have actually put some effort, or you can say the great effort, but the result is not that good? You need to recognize those efforts also. Please remember one thing: do not try to reward result every time. Please try to reward the efforts maximum time, which will bring result. So you have to be quite fair enough that what you are rewarding for, what are the parameters. The parameter has to be very clear to your team member, that once my manager is rewarding somebody, there is a fixed parameter, and in that parameter is very much you can say that it has been already briefed, not just before the reward, before early, you can say 1 month or first quarter or second quarter, or might be yearly. That is a fair thing that you can do to them. Budgeting: many of the people feel that their budget is irrational. Why maximum time? In my experience, I see that most of the managers do not discuss budget, the logic of it, to the subordinates. That is the main point of concern, and many people feel that this has been unfair to them, and the budgeting has been wrong. The communication also plays an important role while you try to be fair. So sometimes I see some managers call to a particular team member quite frequent, while others not that frequent. You see, once you become a manager, there are total, you can say, 5 pairs of eyes is always looking to you 24/7. You may think that nobody is looking to you. You are talking to a particular person quite frequent, not to others, but this has been perceived as a very negative thing for the other team members. Somebody may think that he is your favorite, for that is and everything you are giving to him. Please try to avoid these factors. Everybody is watching what you are doing. Each and every steps of yours, each and every behaviors, your body language has been watched. So try to communicate with each and every one on the various pointers, their strength area, their weak area, or their, you can say, the area of improvement. So these are the quite things that you can do to increase the reward mechanism of human brain, and decrease the stress mechanism in the human brain. So in the SCARF model, we already talked about there are total 5 words that we talked about. Alphabet we have talked about. S is that, you can say, it is the status. C, that is certainty. SC, A, A. A is for autonomy, R for relatedness, and last but not the least, F for fairness. Now, where do we use this SCARF model, and what is the major use of it as a manager? As I told you, SCARF model has to be used in your day-to-day managerial life. With this, you need to understand that how you want to behave with your team member. This particular model, these are the particular status, certainty, these are the particular factors which will actually help you to recognize the pattern of your team, how you are communicating, how you are behaving, what kind of questions you are asking to the review meeting, how you are giving feedback to your team. So overall, in your whole managerial journey, these models will be a very important differentiator, that whether from a manager you are actually going to the leadership role or not. So I feel uh, the you have understood the importance of this particular model and you are going to use it in your day-to-day life. Write me in the comment box if you have any query related to this. Thank you very much, and bye bye.